Welcome back to the Sox Way Up Sports Network. Today we're starting something a little different. We're not doing anything with the Pittsburgh Pirates series. That isn't going away. I got some things to think through on how I want to finish it, but I hope this works. What we're going to do in this video is we're going to select every single team in a franchise. We're going to have all of these settings as we see it. Computer trading is on, ignore budgets is off, force trades is off because I can do any trades I want, controlling every team. Designate hitters on, extra innings rule is on. Everything is going to be set to auto manage for every team for the first 10 years. We're going to skip spring training. What we're going to do through this video is we're going to slowly go through 10 years of Major League Baseball, see how things develop, what teams win World Series, what teams are struggling, and at the end of that 10 years, the worst team in baseball is who we're going to take over and rebuild. We're going to sim the regular season of the first year. We're going to sim to draft day to start. And taking a look at draft day, it does show us as the Orioles, but we're not. We have the Rays leading the AL East, the Twins leading the AL Central, the Rangers leading the West, Phillies leading the East, the Cardinals leading the Central in the National League, and the Dodgers leading the West. Right now, the Giants have 35 wins, the Nationals 36, the Rockies 37, and in the American League, 38, 37, 39. So if we stopped right now, we would be taking over the Giants. But that's not what we're doing. We're going to keep on rolling through this, and we'll simulate the draft. We're not really going to dive into these players in the drafts yet. We'll start to get to know some of the players through awards and things like that moving through the season. But I've been seeing a lot of trades popping up. Pretty nice to see. We're going to go ahead and get to the end of the season now and see who makes the playoffs in the first year. What I do want to stop and take a look at some of these drafted players and that they've signed and seeing the actual potential. Just going to kind of go through here and see if there's any generational talents that we end up seeing and if there's any team that really jumps out showing that they're doing really good with drafting so far. Daniel Samuels is a 97 overall that went to the Angels. We got Kevin Holman, a center fielder to the Mets, going to be a 94 potential. Todd Tyler, a catcher drafted late in the draft, has a 98 potential, but he's only a 56. It'll be interesting to see if he develops over this playthrough. Brian Willis, 93 potential starting pitcher for the Red Sox. Yeah, 97 seems to be the best, and the Angels also have a 93 center fielder in Dana Daly. 51 overall right now, though. That'll be tough, but Daniel Samuels, someone to look forward to in the future. Looking at the first year's playoff bracket, we'll start in the American League. We have Texas as the 1 seed, Tampa Bay the 2, the 3 seed is Minnesota, Baltimore, Yankees, and the Blue Jays to round off the playoff bracket in the American League. In the National League, the Phillies took the 1 seed, the Dodgers the 2 seed, Cardinals, Braves, Cubs, and Diamondbacks round off the bracket for the National League. Now let's take a look at who the worst team is at this point. Rockies with 64 wins, and that would be it. So right now it's looking like the Rockies. It'll be interesting to see over 10 years playing through this what changes. And in the first year of this playthrough, the Philadelphia Phillies beat the Texas Rangers 4-2 in the World Series. And taking a look at awards, we have National League World Series MVP was Brandon Marsh. The American League MVP for the regular season, Corey Seager. Matt Olson for the National League. 48 home runs for Seager, not bad. Strider with a Cy Young and DeGrom with a Cy Young. Rookie of the Year, Evan Carter, no surprise. And Jordan Wicks, 24-year-old starting pitcher for the Cubs, had a solid year in his rookie season. No Hall of Fame inductees in 2024. Any big signings we will take a look at here that pop up, though, to keep everything up to date. Tanner Scott to the Mariners. I mean, that can't be the only big signing. Is it not giving me these updates? Oh, that's unfortunate. Alex Bergman to the Yankees. Yeah, so it didn't give us a lot of notifications, which is going to be kind of sad for this series. Does that mean free agency just didn't? Oh, okay, so some stuff's still going on here. We got offers. The top player's still out there, Juan Soto. We can kind of go through here and skip teams and see who's signed. And I'll kind of do that slow and let you guys kind of just see everything. If anything huge jumps out at us, I will take note to it. Looks like Alonso re-signed with the Mets. Danny Jansen signed with the Pirates. Christian Walker came back to the Diamondbacks for a 4-year deal. Man, it's going to be super interesting to see like players that are still around at that point. But let's keep moving. Clay Holmes to the Padres. Corbin Burns to the Angels. Max Fried. Is it Fried? Max Fried, I could say that wrong. Juan Soto to the Giants, so that might take the Giants out of consideration for a while. And halfway through the second year, we're just taking a look at the worst teams. We have the Guardians with 39 wins, the A's with 36. And in the National League, we have the Rockies with 36. So the A's and the Rockies are looking like gonna be the problems here. Or not the problems, the bad teams so far. The Dodgers 63 wins, looks like the best in baseball. The Angels have 62. They're the second best in baseball. And taking a look at picks again, we see a 92 overall. I always say overall, 92 potential George Cohen here, but he's 53 overall to start with. Got some unsigned players, a lot of unsigned players it looks like this time around. There's a 93 and Dino Lerma, 93 potential, 72 overall. Glenn Robertson, Edgar Rosario, 70 overall, 98 potential starting pitcher for the Nationals. Got a 94 potential closing pitcher for the Dodgers, like they needed help. Sean Fox, closing pitcher, 94 potential for the Red Sox. Dino Lerma, starting pitcher for the Mariners. That seems about all that's worth talking about on those signings right now. And taking a look here, not a lot of changes. We got the Giants in the playoffs this year after being one of the worst teams last season. And same with the Angels coming up. The Twins, the number 1 seed in the American League. The Astros, the number 2 seed. The Dodgers and the Braves, the 1 and 2 in the National League. The Atlanta Braves win the World Series, back-to-back World Series championships for the NL East. The Houston Astros make it this time, so back-to-back losses for the AL West. Ronald Acuna Jr. wins the World Series MVP. Shohei Ohtani, National League MVP. Corey Seager gets back-to-back MVPs in the American League. Strider gets back-to-back Cy Youngs. And Pablo Lopez gets his first Cy Young Award in 2025. Jace Young, Rookie of the Year in the American League. Andy Paez, I don't know how you would say that, but he was the MVP or the Rookie of the Year in the National League. Max Scherzer goes to the Hall of Fame in 2025. Will Smith goes to the Cardinals. Zach Gallen to the Texas Rangers. Lane Thomas to the Astros. Ryan Helsley to the Texas Rangers. Kyle Tucker to the Pirates. That's a huge signing. We thought about doing that in our playthrough, but it didn't make sense that year for us. Dylan Cease to the Royals. Michael King to the Phillies. Bo Bichette to the Twins. Minnesota's going to be a powerhouse in this playthrough. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to the Twins. And just checking in on 2026 standings. The Braves are 9 games ahead of the Phillies. The Cubs are 7.5 games ahead of the Brewers. Cardinals at the bottom there. Nationals 42 wins at the bottom of the East. Rockies 44 wins at the bottom. Giants in first place. Diamondbacks in second. Dodgers in third. Very interesting there. That has the Nationals and the Rockies. Marlins and Mets, they're all teams that might end up being our team. Orioles are in first place. Yankees are in second. Blue Jays with 44 wins. Tigers at the bottom here. Twins 59 and 53. 3.5 ahead of the Royals. Astros with 69 wins already. And the Athletics with only 46. So 44 with the Blue Jays to the 42 of the Nationals. Looking like it is the worst team in the league right now. And we're on them. Kind of want to go through and see who is ranked 30th at this point. Rockies are 29th. My guess is it's the Athletics. They are 30th. Yeah, that's probably who we're going to end up with. And viewing some picks here, we'll see if there's any that just stand out to me. Really, I'd like to see some high 90s that aren't starting pitchers because I haven't really seen many. There's a second baseman, 88 potential. Todd, 91 potential starting pitcher. 93 potential second baseman here. Dozer down here, left fielder, 97 potential, but he's a 53. It'll be interesting to see if that name pops up. And looks like we do have a generational talent here in Coleman Campanella for the Guardians. Comes in 18 years old, 80 overall, 99 potential. And Escobar, 92. All right, let's get to the end of this season. And Rosario is already starting. Pretty cool. Here's a look at the playoff bracket in 2026. Cubs, Giants, Brewers, Phillies, Braves, Reds, Rangers, Orioles, Astros, Angels, Guardians, and the Mariners. And the Phillies have won the National League Division Series. The Rangers have won the American League Division Series. We have the Mariners and the Giants in the World Series. A 6 seed and a 2 seed. And the Giants prevent the Mariners from winning their first ever World Series. Wow, the Giants went from like the bottom to the top very quickly. It's pretty interesting how this stuff can just flip throughout this playthrough. Juan Soto, World Series MVP, huge signing for them. Austin Riley, the MVP of the National League, and Alvarez, the MVP of the American League breaks Corey Seager's streak. 135 RBIs for Seager, and he didn't win the MVP because of the 52 home runs. Wow. Strider with his third straight Cy Young Award. Bieber gets his first Cy Young Award, and the Rookie of the Year goes to Jackson Holiday. Good for him. And someone who's not even in the big leagues right now, Teddy Peralta, ends up getting the Rookie of the Year in the National League for the Brewers. No 2026 Hall of Fame inductees. We're into free agency for 2027 season. Ozzie Albies goes to the Mariners. Tarek Skubal goes to the Rangers. Brian Mountcastle to the Diamondbacks. That's a huge signing for the Snakes there. Jonah Heim goes to the Diamondbacks as well. D-backs trying to make a run here. McKenzie, a starting pitcher, goes to them as well. Wow, lots of notifications for the Diamondbacks in free agency this year. Fairbanks to the Cardinals. Nico Horner to the Dodgers. That kind of fits. Tyler O'Neill to the Mariners. Luis Garcia to the Giants. Brady Singer to the Cardinals. Randy Arozarena to the Astros. Dustin May to the Padres. Kim to the Cubs. And doing another midway check-in here. We'll look at the standings for 2027. The Mets are in first place, tied with the Phillies. Braves with 38 wins. The Braves have dropped to the bottom of the league. Marlins with 39, Rockies with 39. Wow. White Sox only have 29 wins at this point. Right now it is the White Sox, another team I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be. The A's they're above 500, so they might be out of the running. This is going to be interesting. I think it's going to be pretty cool. Jason Flyer, 87 overall, 95 potential, 21-year-old starting pitcher for the A's. The A's might be one of the best teams in the league when we get there. Got a couple 93s for the Mariners, a 93 here in Lucy for the Rangers. Braves did not have a good draft. 91 for the Phillies, another 95 here for the Nationals. Let's get to the end of the season and see where the standings are sitting. And with another season coming to an end, the Nationals 64 wins, the Rockies 64 wins. The Braves ended up getting 75, so they rebounded a little bit, but the Marlins are still down there at 66. The White Sox with 55. Blue Jays with 61 as well. And there's a look at the playoffs. Dodgers, Pirates are the 2 seed. The Diamondbacks, Reds, Phillies, and Padres round off the National League, and then the Angels, Twins, Royals, Rays, Yankees, and Rangers in the American League. The Pirates will take on the Angels in the World Series, and the Angels will win a World Series. And I want to take a look at something on their roster and see if they still have Mike Trout. Yes, Mike Trout does get a World Series. Very cool. Playoff MVP, World Series MVP, home run champion in 2027. Mike Trout, 57 home runs. Is that a career high? That is a career high. And 156 RBIs. He finally got a full season in the last 2 here. That's pretty cool. Let's take a look at awards. Though we did see the Mike Trout one. So he'll be the MVP of the postseason and the World Series. Matt Olson with the National League MVP award, and Mike Trout with the American League. Cy Young goes to Kyle Bradish and Dustin May. Rookie of the Year, James Wood. That's nice to see. He is up this year in the big leagues in real life. Owen White, starting pitcher for the Rangers, gets a Rookie of the Year nod. Clayton Kershaw inducted into the Hall of Fame. Let's get into 2027's free agency. Logan Gilbert to the Rays. Duran to the Rays. Kwan to the Mariners. William Contreras to the Angels. Pena to the that was the Padres. Brandon Marsh to the Pirates. Manning to the Giants. Mackenzie Gore to the Diamondbacks. Justin Steele to the Mets. Luis Robert to the Astros. I guess we should be looking at all-stars too, but we'll do that as we get closer. Athletics with 34 wins. Blue Jays with 38 in the American League. Orioles, Yankees, Rangers as wild cards. Twins, Angels, and Orioles leading their divisions. 31 wins for the Rockies right now. Mets with 40. Mariners, Marlins, Diamondbacks, Dodgers wild card right now, with the Giants, Pirates, and Phillies controlling their own destiny as division leaders. There's some all-star voting, taking a look there. Switch over and see if we can get a National League team real quick. There's the starters for the National League. Starting to look a little different. I accidentally skipped through the signed players. I went one day too far. Oh no, we're not there yet, are we? Oh no, we are. I went too far. My bad. My bad. I went a whole month too far. Pirates, the 1 seed in the National League this year. The Phillies, Dodgers, Cardinals, Giants, Mariners. I keep calling them the Mariners. They're the Marlins. The Angels, Yankees, Red Sox, Twins, Rangers, and Orioles are in the American League. And worst record goes to Rockies with 53. Yeah, it's looking like the Rockies as of now. See if they get any better. And the Pittsburgh Pirates are the World Series champions in 2028, beating the Red Sox. Henry Davis, the World Series MVP. I dig it. I dig it. Alvarez was the most valuable player of the American League, and O'Neal Cruz got the National League MVP. Walker Jenkins, the American League MVP. Ivan Melendez, a first baseman for the Nationals. No inductees. Logan Webb to the Tigers. Logan O'Hoppe to the Twins. Casey Mize to the Red Sox. Gunnar Henderson to the Braves. The Braves are going to rise back up. Nolan Gorman to the Nationals. Nolan Jones to the Mets. Jake Berger to the Royals, Alvarez to the Brewers, James Outman to the Yankees, Spencer Torkelson to the Giants, Gabriel Moreno to the Cubs. That's pretty fitting late in his career. Duran to the Twins, Jake McCarthy to the Cardinals, Jack Zawinski to the Guardians, Garrett Mitchell to the Orioles. And in the 2029 draft day, we take a look at the standings. The Braves are back to first place, Phillies with 44 losses there, Cubs with 42 losses in the Central, Pirates at the top of that division as well. Rockies down at the bottom still, Giants at the top. Cubs, 42 losses, the worst team right now. Then we got the Red Sox with 40 losses, the White Sox with 39, the Athletics with 35. So the A's right now are looking like the worst team in baseball. And if I was smart, I would have made a prediction early on in the video, but I think it's going to be between these two teams we're looking at the bottom right now, the White Sox or the A's. We're in 2029. We'll take a look at the picks here. Joel Delgado, closing pitcher for the Reds, 97 potential. 94 potential, I apologize. Not a very good draft. Here's a 95 closing pitcher. Yeah, not a very good draft at all. I did want to stop here and kind of take a look at the top prospects and see if any team really jumps out at us as just blowing it away prospect-wise. And right now, looking at the top, we see 2 for the Giants in the top 12. Rob Rivera, the #1 prospect in baseball right now. He is on the White Sox. Interesting if we took over the White Sox. He is 22 years old right now. By the time we take over, he'll be in his last year of arbitration. So it's a little early to be looking at this stuff, but it's never a bad idea. Yeah, I'm not recognizing any team jumping out more than others. Maybe the Cardinals did here. Pirates got some low ones. Yeah, it's going to be super fun to get used to a new entire league at some point. Right after this, it'll be fun. That's why I'm doing it. I wanted to see this league completely turn over, new players, new experience, not the same exact free agency classes as we had in the last playthrough. That's my thought process. All right, I'm not going to name them all out. I'll let you take a look here at the playoff brackets, but the standings: Cubs, worst team in the National League. The Astros dropped to the worst team in the American League, and the White Sox are starting to rise up, and the A's at 67, Mariners at 67 as well. Pretty solid year for the National League. 70 losses being the worst team, only 22 games under 500 for the Cubs. The Rockies are up to 72 wins, the Mets 72, Phillies are back down to 73. Marlins up to 75. Interesting year there. Let's see who wins the World Series. The stupid Dodgers win. Gavin Sheets gets the World Series MVP. Corey Seager back to being the MVP of the American League. Matt Olson gets his second. Cy Young goes to Strider again after Bobby Miller and Dustin May won their awards. And then Dylan Cease gets another Cy Young award here. And the Rookie of the Year is Bobby Rivera. And Thomas Green, second baseman. We're going to move to the 30s now. Kirk to the Rays. Rodriguez to the Yankees. Should really start seeing names that aren't really recognizable here in the next few years, though Gavin Williams, that's a recognizable starting pitcher, to the Braves. Bryce Miller to the Twins. Lang to the Rangers. Triolo to the Red Sox. Carter to the Braves. The Braves are about to rise up big time, aren't they? Yuri Perez to the Astros. That's an interesting pick. Brandon Pfaadt to the Royals. Joey Wiemer to the Braves. Frelick here to the Cardinals. Tyler Soderstrom to the Rockies. Neto to the Cubs. Jeffers to the Tigers. I'm going too fast. Fletcher to the Royals. Jordan Hicks to the Orioles. Jordan Walker to the Dodgers. Ryan Helsley goes to the Braves. Hunter Green to the Mets. Cowser to the Rangers. Westberg to the Angels. Rojas to the Blue Jays. We're seeing a lot here. Pete Crow Armstrong to the A's. Harrison to the Astros. Colt Keith to the White Sox. So many clicking. Matt Olson to the Orioles. Just a couple more seasons to get through. to know what team we're going to rebuild. And the midseason break of 2030. Pirates still the first place in the National League Central, Dodgers in the West, and in the East is the Marlins. Look at that. Worst team in the National League is the Rockies and then the Nationals. American League, we got the Yankees, Twins, and Rangers. Worst team is the Athletics with 34 wins. They're the worst team in baseball still. James Wood gets traded to the Rangers. There's another trade. The Cubs get a 97 starting pitcher. Man, it's just pitchers that get all these big numbers, isn't it? Kraft, 93 potential. Got a 95 potential left fielder for the Rays in Howard Mize. Look at this draft for the Guardians. 94 potential, 92 potential, 98 potential, 88 potential, 62 overall to start with. So these top two, or this one here, the relief pitcher, he'll definitely contribute pretty quick for them. No one else really standing out. We got a 90s. Yeah, no one else really standing out. Let's get through the end of this season. See who's the worst in baseball. There's a look at the playoffs again. The Pirates are still there. The Diamondbacks have starting to fall off. Be honest with you, I won't be sad if it ends up being the Diamondbacks if they magically get down there. It'd be kind of fun for me. Or the Cubs would be a fun one for me too. Those are my two teams growing up that I really liked. Let's look at the standings here. The most thing that I really care about, I don't really care about the hot teams. We'll worry about them later. I'm sure I don't know what you guys would be interested in this video, but the Rockies are at the bottom still. And with 56 wins, it's the A's, man. It's going to be the A's. I have a feeling it's going to be the A's. Let's see who the World Series champ is. Got to switch to a team that isn't in the playoffs. Make it easier to sim. The Rangers beat the Dodgers in the 7-game series. Love it. Wyatt Langford. Attaboy, World Series MVP. O'Neal Cruz gets his second MVP award. Let's look at this guy's career. I'm just interested in it. 198 home runs, 703 RBIs at this point. Career batting average of 267. He's got his WAR up to 21 total. And look at this errors. He ends up getting better in the field. Look at that 98 arm. Yeah, we knew that, but yeah, this Cruz developed pretty good with these awards here. 2 MVPs, 1 All-Star appearance, 2 Silver Slugger awards. And in the American League, Royce Lewis gets his first MVP award. Solid year for him. 3 All-Star appearances for him. Rodriguez gets his first Cy Young award and All-Star appearance after he joined the Yankees. And Bobby Miller with his second Cy Young of this playthrough, 28 and 30 and 4 All-Star appearances. Big contract with the Dodgers there. And the Rookie of the Year in the American League is Max Anderson, an 81 overall, 28-year-old third baseman. And Bobby Humber, first baseman for the Reds, 81 overall. Pretty solid year. Pretty good stats there on contact for sure. Pretty good power as well. He had 27 home runs in his rookie year and a 305 batting average. Pretty sick. Freddie Freeman into the Hall of Fame in 2030. All right, a couple more seasons to get through and we'll know what team we're going to take over in 2024. Or 2034. Johan Oviedo to the Rays. Paul Skeens going to the Padres. The Pirates might be on their way down, and we will bypass the Pirates if they end up being the worst team. Andy Rodriguez to the Twins. We're seeing a lot of Pirates starting to fall off here. Trevor Rogers to the Cubs. Mike Soroka to the Dodgers. Dominguez here to the Dodgers. Jason with 2 S's. Jordan Lawler goes to the Yankees. Dylan Cruz to the Rockies. That would be interesting if they're the worst and we get Dylan Cruz. Ryan Mountcastle to the White Sox. Brian Hayes is a Diamondback. Mason Wynn to the Cubs. Bradley, starting pitcher, going to the Pirates there. Matt Olson to the Red Sox. He must be signing short contracts. And the 2031 standings here. Cardinals and Brewers, the Pirates are starting to decline. The Diamondbacks are in first place. The league's starting to look like it's evening out. 37 wins for the Marlins in the bottom. Royals with 36 wins. Interesting. Where did the A's go? They're the leaders of the West. Things are changing. We got the Royals at the bottom and the Astros and the Marlins and the Phillies, but the Phillies are pretty far off there. The Rockies ended up being 50 and 47. This is so cool. It's starting to change. There is the American League All-Star voting. We see Brian Hayes in there, Corbin Carroll, Michael Harris, Frelick, Henderson, Scott, Singer. Let's get to a American League team here. I want to start doing this every year moving forward. Hoppy, Albies is over there. Witt's still over there as well at shortstop. Outman in center field. Pretty cool stuff. It's kind of fun just seeing how the league changes over time in these sims. Well, let's get to the new players and see if there's any studs out there. Here we go. the Orioles with a generational talent, 99 potential, 77 to start with there. 94 over here, first baseman for the Red Sox Summers. Now, those bottom tier teams like this one, yeah, just bad drafts for the Royals. That's probably what's causing that. The Astros, another bad draft. Another good one for the A's, or a decent one. They got at least one good player. We got here a center fielder, Ferris, George Ferris, 94 potential, 60 overall right now. I mean, this guy's never going to make the big leagues, right? 45 overall right now? No way. And here's a look at the 2031 playoff brackets. The Braves and the Rangers, top of the league. Top of the leagues, the Dodgers and the Twins are the other buys. And we see the Nationals in the playoffs and the A's in 2031 and Seattle. So who's the worst team right now? 68 wins for the Marlins and 68 wins for the Royals, and Astros not far behind them. And the Rangers have won another World Series against the Braves. Tavares with the MVP of the World Series, Gunnar Henderson, the National League MVP, Ozzie Albies, the American League MVP. Cy Young goes to Smith Sauver and Drew Thorpe. Rookie of the Year, John Dickerson, a starting pitcher for the Mariners, and Christopher Guy, first baseman for the Mets. You know, it's not going to mean much seeing these names, but looks like the Guardians are absolutely the top dog when it comes to prospects. We see 5 in the top 11 that are Guardians. Tigers got a couple in here as well. See if there's anything else for the Guardians down here. Man, the Cubs have a decent amount in here. So do the Brewers. Yeah, the Guardians just have those top ones and then really nothing else. There's one down here. Brian Koo at 88 and then 100. So the teams we're looking at right now were the Royals and the Marlins, and we can kind of see why. I don't see any of the players. There's one for the Marlins here, shortstop, Pedro Prado. And here's the Astros, have Russell Worth, starting pitcher, B potential. Chad Deal, center fielder, B potential. It's one for the Marlins. Definitely fun stuff here. See if there's any names I recognize here. I don't know if there's going to be at this point. Rowdy Tellez, Connor Joe retires, and then poor free agent market and some age. There's Josh Bell, Rocky. Pretty cool stuff, man. I'm enjoying this. Okay, what, 2 seasons to get through? Corbin Carroll to the Brewers. Wow. Yeah, and starting to see names as free agents that I think are fake players or generated players. Harry Ford, Juan Soto to the Pirates. So the Pirates might be a powerhouse to deal with in this playthrough. Drew Thorpe. Wasn't he an award winner we're just looking at? Shea Langoliers goes to the Pirates. Matt Manning to the Rangers. Dylan Carlson to the Mariners. Freddie Peralta to the Orioles. Jackson Holiday at 28 years old goes to the Astros. Jordan Hicks, 35, goes to the Cardinals. Jared Triolo goes to the Yankees. And we're super close, so I want to go through this screen and find who. Look at that. The Pirates end up being the 4th best team. Let's find those bottom tier teams. The Mets, the number 1 ranked team. Wow. A's are 11th. The Angels are now 30th. The Blue Jays are 28th. The Giants are 27th. The Padres are 26th. And the Rockies are 29th. I'm going to say right now I'm rooting for the Angels to be the worst team so we can take them over. After that, I would like to see it be the White Sox are 6th. Wow. I'd probably like to see it be the Rockies or, I don't know, the A's, but they're not going to drop that far. All right, let's get through the last 2 seasons before we take over. We're just going to roll as the Angels right now. Tink Hens. I know that name. Why did we stop? Oh, we want to look at the standings. Athletics with 39 wins and the Angels with 41. So the Angels are a little better than their overall shows. And then we got the Cardinals and Rockies. Ooh, the Cardinals. And all-star voting this time around. There's a look at the American League and the National League. Dylan Cruz makes the all-star game. Attaboy. Look at this draft by the Rangers. 60, 67, 67, 68, 61. Ouch. 95 overall for Tony Tapia for the Mets. Already one of the top teams in the league, getting better. Buddy Miles, I like that name. For the Phillies. Only 1 generational talent so far, which seems pretty solid. We got some of these 97 potentials, but their overalls are like 58. They're not going to make it. Tom Wilson, 95 overall, or potential. Bryce Finch, that's a cool name too. 64 overall, 21-year-old, A potential. 95 is where he could reach, second baseman for the Twins. Yeah, this one right here. All right, so let's keep going. Season and a half to get through still. Here's a look at the playoffs. Mets, Pirates, Reds, Diamondbacks, Phillies, Braves. Orioles, Tigers, Yankees, Rangers, Royals. Royals are up there again, huh? And the White Sox. We have one more to get through, but if it was this year, it'd be, Angels, Blue Jays. But it would be the Rockies right now. It would be the Rockies if this ends the same way next year. And taking a look, just kind of prepping through some of this, looking at the teams that we know. We got Will White, an A potential starting pitcher who's 72 overall right now. Has not made it to the big leagues yet. Stuff doesn't look too great, but the potential's nice. Who else do we have for the Rockies? Actually, let's go ahead and do it this way for the Rockies right now. Got someone in single A here. These must be guys they just drafted. Austin James, another starting pitcher, looking pretty solid there with the B potential. Another starting pitcher, closing pitcher, starting pitcher. Just look at that. It's just nothing but pitchers. Something broken here. Something broken. Got a lot of trading pieces with some of these starting pitchers here, though. And then some of the other teams were the Angels I wanted to look at, and the Royals. Royals here, shortstop, 18-year-old, B potential, 54 overall, though. I don't believe he's the best prospect they have. Dan Johns, 66 overall, B potential, 19-year-old. And the Angels have Marco Lopez, 56 overall, 19-year-old, A potential. Hilbert Wexler, an A potential shortstop, 71 overall. Not very good in the field. Center fielder here, Cannon. That'd be pretty fun. All right, let's see who wins this World Series. The Diamondbacks finally make a World Series in this playthrough against the Orioles. And the Diamondbacks get their second World Series in franchise history in 2032. We got one more season to get through, but let's look at the awards here. MVP here was Charles Freehan, a catcher. Pretty nice fielding, reaction, blocking. Looks like a solid defensive catcher with some decent offense. Not great offense, but decent. American League Most Valuable Player is Riley Green. He's got to be getting up there. Yeah, 31. Look at that contract. Ouch. In the National League, O'Neal Cruz gets his third All MVP award. Why didn't he do that for mine? I guess we haven't gotten to these years yet, so 91 overall still. Contract's about to run out. Pretty sweet. And then Brandon Marsh was third for the Pirates. Cy Young goes to Mackenzie and Jared Jones with the Cy Young in 2032. Rookie of the Year here, Vasquez. Oh, he's going to be good. He's going to be good. And Alex Cano. Pirates are going to be good in this playthrough. And the last year of free agency that we will not partake in also sees Mike Trout, Nolan Arenado, and Jose Altuve going to the Hall of Fame. Nice to see Trout get his World Series in this playthrough, though. All right, and all this stuff's going to be a little more important to pay attention to at this point. We'll go a little slower. Austin Wells to the Phillies. Oren Nolan to the Rockies. Wyatt Langford to the Yankees. Wow, Langford, you traitor. Those of you that don't know, I have Wyatt Langford in my Pirates playthrough. Jacob Gonzalez to the Dodgers. Garcia to the Nationals. Tremar Johnson to the Phillies. Contreras to the White Sox. Samuels to the Cubs. Horton to the Blue Jays. Barry to the White Sox. Cole Young to the Brewers. Tiedemann to the Pirates. Morel to the Nationals. Quinn Priester to the Cubs. Yeah, some cool stuff happening here. Mason Miller to the White Sox. James Wood to the Cubs. Perdomo to the Orioles. Wow, this league's gonna look very strange. Green to the, Anthony there. Albies to the Royals, so I don't think it's gonna be the Royals. Bichette to the Yankees. Man, the Yankees. All right, last year simming, getting into it. Find out who our team's gonna be. Based on overall rankings, let's see if anything's really changed. The Cardinals are 28th, it could be them. The Rockies are 27th. Giants are 25th. The Rays are 26th. The Blue Jays are 29th. The Angels are still 30th. The A's are 17th now. Yeah, I'm rooting for the Angels personally. I don't think it's gonna be the Angels though. They're 42 and 52 at our check-in here. But that is the bottom of the AL West. Look at this, the White Sox are a playoff team right now. The Tigers below here, 2 games ahead of the Angels and the Blue Jays right now. The Padres with 38 wins. It's looking like it might be San Diego. Interesting times. The Giants with 42 wins. So there's, we got the Cubs, like from the Cardinals down here, potentially could be. And then in the American League, it could potentially be, where'd that go? Gosh, from everybody. Not really, but like the Royals down probably. All-star voting here. Brian Willis, the starting pitcher. All of these names are starting. We have Dylan Carlson up there, Jordan Lawler, Nolan over there, first base. Wyatt Langford are people we know. Let's get to it. A National League team. O'Neal Cruz we know. Tatis we know. Jordan Walker, Miguel Vargas, the rest of these names, Pedro Vasquez, that doesn't sound familiar to me, but we're gonna check in when we look at the rookies too. And the last year to look at draft picks, not very good for the Giants. Let's go this way. We'll look at all of them, but let's look at the standings first. Giants and Padres at the bottom. Let's just go straight here. 47 wins, they are tied, the Giants and Padres, and 47 wins for the Angels with 2 months to go in the season. So we'll look at those teams' draft picks here. The Giants was one of them. Not very good. Not very good at all. The Padres, not very good at all either. The Angels did get, Pedroza here. Rafael Pedroza. 71 overall, 21-year-old. A potential center fielder. Looks like he's got a lot of work to do offensively to get ready, but he might be a 95 overall. The rest in our C potentials. Pretty cool. Let's see if there's anybody huge, like a 95 or above. Here's a 94. Another starting pitcher. This league's just going to be loaded with pitching, and that might be something to keep in mind. It might be hard to hit in this league with all of these ridiculously good starting pitchers we've seen in these drafts. The Rockies had a pretty solid draft too, so like getting them would be a good jump start, but that's not necessarily what we're looking for. All right, let's get to the end of August and see where we're sitting. Taking a look in the standings again, at the bottom of the AL is the Angels with 56 wins, the Rays with 59. In the National League, the Padres have 57. Looks like it's going to be between the Padres potentially and the Angels. And I'm stopping it here on the 26th of September to do a little check-in. The Angels have fallen off. They have 61 wins. That's going to be the worst team in the American League confirmed. And the National League, the Padres have 62. Let's get a couple more games forward here. Let's see if anything has changed. Angels with 62 wins. Padres with 63 wins. Angels lost the next game and they lose to end this. Oh, they have 2 more games. There's a win with 1 game left. Let's see if it matters. 63 for the Angels, 63 for the Padres. There's better not a loss. I really don't want to use the Padres, but we're gonna if it did work out that way. They lost. Simming to the off season. Nope, let's stop that. I don't want to. Stop, please. I didn't mean to sim to the off season, but we did. The Pirates are a game ahead of the Rangers right now. So going into the standings, just to confirm, 63 wins for the Padres and 64 for the Angels. The Padres are going to be the team that we use moving forward. And the Pirates sweep the Rangers to win the 2033 World Series. We're going to do the full offseason with the Padres and spring training leading into the 2034 season. We still have Tatis Jr. on this team, a 96 overall. We have Paul Skeens, a 94 overall. Dylan Lesko, an 89 overall. Kondo, 85. Snelling, an 85. Dustin May, 83. And it goes down from there. Johnny Berger, our center fielder rookie. We'll get to know these guys a lot better. Patrick Lamar, Jared Whitlock. But looking at the depth chart here, 26th team in the league. Salary of $186 million. Tatis Jr. still on the squad, still a 96 overall. And it looks like we have him for 2 more years. Paul Skeens we're gonna have late in his career. That'll be different. Kind of annoying, but it's the way it unrolled. Looking at this pitching rotation, not too bad of a starting rotation, but the ages, 30 for Skeens. It's like, what pitches do they have him with here? Yeah, still just a 4-seamer slider changeup cutter for him. Lesko here at 89. He's 29 years old. What's the contract for Skeens? Yeah, that's gonna be a problem on this playthrough. One year deal left with Snelling, but we have arbitration. Dustin May is going to be a free agent. Same with Whitlock. It's going to be fun getting to know this team. But Johnny Berger is our leadoff guy right now. Then Jeremy Pena, shortstop. He's down to a 79 overall, but he's going to be a free agent. Tatis has 1 year left. We'll have 1 year with Tatis as he declines, it looks like. Our catcher here, Sobel. I'll have to learn how to say these names. Oh, this is a real life dude. Lenny Diaz, a third baseman. Yeah, our shortstop here, B potential. Melton here, our left fielder. Lamar. Brian Scott we have in his old age, but he's going to be a free agent. Going to be an interesting offseason here as we get to know this team and figure out what we're going to do with it. The only real long-term contract we have on this team is Paul Skeens. Going to save it right here. It's going to be fun. We'll get this started pretty soon. Sox Way Up. Thanks for hanging out. Oh, before we go, Corey Seager, Mookie Betts, and Manny Machado are in the Hall of Fame.